Good evening, everyone.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It is us, the Bacams. It is 11 o'clock at night, and it's a Monday. We've just finished our chores as parents, and just
Laundry.
sitting here in our PJs and our glasses. But we wanted to make this video to bring to you guys the results of our 23andMe. So we're super excited about it.
We got the results yesterday.
Yeah,
and so
right.
um,
We have live reactions of it, but we'll maybe display that on another time.
yeah,
It's kind of long.
it was very long. So we don't know how to edit and all that stuff. So we're just gonna go ahead and make this one a little shorter than the original. But anyways, we picked up a 23andMe packet over at Hy-Vee.
No, Target.
Target.
Yeah.
And then that was what, $20?
Yes, $20, and then we paid the sale was like $119 per person to get our DNA for ancestry and also health, genetic disorders and things like that that people can carry in traits. So we paid for the whole shebang just because we wanted to. I mean,
Yeah, and
you don't have to elect to. You can just elect to do the ancestry, but I mean, if you're doing it, you might as well be doing it for everything. It's pretty cool to try to get a little bit more insight about who you are, and I think that's why we're doing this is because we just wanted a little bit more insight about who we are and what we are made up of. So
yeah, because we can only guess, and I will just, I think I'm gonna go first.
without further ado, you will go first.
And but what we'll talk about is what people think we are, what we think we are, and who we really are.
Who we really are, right?
So for me, I always get,
Go ahead.
for me, I always get mistaken for being Filipino, Thai,
yeah.
Thai.
Thai from Thailand.
Yeah, Thai from Thailand, not like
Right.
Thai them.
Right.
Those are the main things. And one time I got South American, and I was like, I have a flat nose.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. And sometimes I do get Hispanic, just because I think it's mostly from another Hispanic person that needs me to speak Spanish. And pray that I know Spanish, but I really don't know Spanish. So that's what people really think of me. What do people think of you?
Most people think I'm Filipino too as well. I mean, of course, trying to explain to somebody what Taidam people are is probably one of the hardest things. Obviously, we have no country. We're just a subcultured group that what I know of is from Indochina. So, but what most people think I am is probably Filipino or Thai. Again.
Yeah, and to make things short and sweet, like when people ask what he is or what my husband is, I always say he's Thai, and then they're like, well, can he speak Thai? And then like sometimes it's not the same thing, and then sometimes I'd be like, well, he knows Lao, like I think Lao.
We're probably closer to Lao people language-wise because our people migrated into Laos as refugees, so that's why we speak kind of a mix of Lao and Taidam, but a true Taidam language is pretty deep in it. I mean, they have their own language, they have their own alphabet, they have their own I mean, we're our own ethnic group, so
just hard to explain to someone, so it's just easy to be like, he's Thai or he's Laotian, like he's one of the two.
I'm Taidam.
He's Taidam, so hopefully we'll be able to educate people.
We'll explain more about that as we get into this ancestry thing.
Cool. And what think I am.
You think you are? Yeah.
Well, prior to me looking at my results, people are always shocked that I'm Cambodian because I'm not dark complected. Most Cambodians, I think, are a little bit on the darker side.
Right. I guess that's the misconception, though.
Yes, because when you go to Cambodia, not everyone's dark, and so. But just being here in Iowa, I have light-skinned Cambodian friends, but they are known that their family is Chinese. And then I would go and ask my parents, and they're like, no, you're pure Cambodian. Like, you are nothing else. So it just makes me wonder, like, what I am, because my whole entire family is light skinned except for one brother of mine. And I have always just been kind of curious, do we have a little Chinese in us? What do we have that makes us a little bit light skinned compared to everyone else? So I always just thought we weren't pure, but
right. And we'll break it down a little bit more about what's considered Southeast Asian, what's considered South Asian, what's considered, Asian. There's a little bit difference, in
like East Asian.
Right.
Like, and people, I mean, I guess I didn't grow up knowing what that was either, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, because we didn't grow up knowing, like, Koreans, Chinese, Japanese. Like, that wasn't, like, I didn't have
right.
friends.
We're Southeast Asian. I mean,
right.
we most Southeast Asian are going to be considered, this, includes Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, the Philippines, Myanmar, Burma, things of that nature. And then as you go further south, then you got South Asians, which is going to be India, Bangladesh,
Pakistan.
Pakistan is going to be very close, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, that's what Asia is all about, but we're just a little bit different when it comes to...
I mean, this sounds really dumb of me, but I didn't know, like, for like Pakistan and stuff like that, I didn't know that was part of Asia, which for a long time, and so just when I started traveling, I was like, let me look at the globe real quick. And so I started learning about that. But yeah, that was kind of
without further ado, let's move on to the next thing. So let's find out what Bopa really is based off her genetic makeup, and let's see if it lives up to what she thinks she is.
Okay. It's loading. All right. So, how did I read this? Okay, so I am 99.2% Southeast Asian.
99.3.
0.2.
Oh, yeah, all right, that's right, Southeast Asian, yeah.
Yeah, 99.2% Southeast Asian, so I'm very Southeast Asian. And I have, the broadly East Asian Native American,
right.
0.1%. But what is broadly
Basically,
East?
broadly means that, so her great, like, first people, ancestors had migrated, some of them, somewhere in that bloodline, somebody has migrated from the Americas. They could have been Colombian, they could have been anything South American or Americas. So anybody who had crossed the Alaskan, whatever they call that, when it was connected at one point. So, I mean...
So 0.1%.
Right. So at some point, it's very small. That was a part of her DNA.
Yeah. And then South Asian, I had no idea.
Right.
0.7%, another small percentage. But I did look up, so when they did say that, it said...
South Asian right there.
Yeah, but what I wanted to read was what they said about, it was like the 5th or 6th generation.
You're that South Asian.
Yeah, so South Asian is
5th to 8th generation back. Yeah. Generations back.
You most likely had a 3rd great grandparent, 4th great grandparent, 5th great grandparent, or 6th great grandparent who was 100% South Asian. This person was likely born between 1740 and 1830,
right.
Which is honestly not that long ago. If you really stop to think about like the numbers,
right? About 200 and 200, 300 years,
right? Which, like I said, not that long ago, and to know that I had a grandparent, whatever many generations back, that was 100% South Asian, I would have never guessed
that.
South
Asian meaning that they would have been Pakistani, Indian, Bangladesh, or something of that nature, of that ethnic group. So
so that part was very interesting to understand that. And then another part of me, I'm also 0.1% European, which is another crazy part. And
so somewhere down in that bloodline, someone got mixed with a little European juice.
Yeah, that is. I would have never guessed European at all, so that was very shocking to me too. And then I have an unassigned 0.1%. We don't know where that goes to, but so basically, I am mostly Southeast Asian, obviously,
right.
but with a little bit of South Asian, a little bit of East Asian, Native American,
right.
And European. So,
That's
I mean,
cool.
It's so cool, and now I'm just like so interested. I mean,
what's cool, I mean, here's another thing too. So this, you can kind of put yourself out there with like other family members who potentially may match up in your.
So you can make your profile public, which we did, just so we could see.
Right.
Because the only way you'd be able to see any other relatives is if you made it public. And so we did that. And so I know most of my first, second, third cousins, honestly. So like on there it said third and more, like, or distant cousins.
Distant cousins. They have the same genetic markers as she does.
Yes, and a lot of them had Vietnamese names, so it made me wonder if possibly.
Are you part Vietnamese?
Am I part Vietnamese? Is that why I'm light skinned? I don't know.
Were some of your, let's say maybe like third generation grandparent, maybe could have been further north. We don't know. Yeah, because I didn't see any Cambodian names actually, and mostly Vietnamese names that was pulled up. So that was just very interesting too. What else on there?
For the ancestry, I think that's.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
So that was mine in a nutshell, which is so cool. Now I feel like I need to go to South Asia.
All right, so we'll go to mine here.
Did you say what you thought you were? You don't think you did.
What I thought I was? Well, I thought. I mean, obviously, I'm Titan, right? So.
But we also thought you had a little African American in you.
The joke is that.
You could double Dutch.
I could double Dutch. I kind of got a little booty.
But, and he,
I can get down. So, the thing is that I figured that maybe somewhere down that line, I have some type of bloodline that gives me this type of personality or gives me that extra oomph. So we just really wanted to see what we was all about. And so when I pull it up, I was very surprised. Actually, I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised. So my genetic makeup is 100% East Asian and Native American. And what that means is that I am 67.2% Southeast Asian. I am 32.4% Chinese. I'm sorry. So out of that 32.4 East Asian, I'm 30.8% Chinese and 1.7% broadly East Asian.
Okay, what is the broadly East Asian?
So remember, the broadly East Asian, means that it's
not an exact. It's just a.
It's more of like a. We have to get the computer. It explains it a little bit more. It means I have a more pure of what do you call it? I want to say Indians or
Native Americans.
Native American. Well, not just Native Americans, but so the Native Americans who travel. So it's a mixture, but mainly of it is going to be Chinese out of the East Asian. So 30. I mean, that's very surprising to me. I didn't know you had any Chinese in me.
Yeah,
but I knew that we're from Indochina at one point. But to have 30%, that's a pretty high percentage, right? Yeah. So with that said, I mean, it says that not my grandparents, but potentially my great grandparents were Chinese, full-blooded Chinese.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I wonder if you asked someone in your family, would they have known?
I don't know. That's the thing. This is
the
thing about the types. Our next step is I really want to dig in a little bit more. I'd like to know what part of China that we really came from, and I'd like to know who my great grandparents were. I mean, that would be really cool to know. I was really surprised by it because I just didn't think it was that much. I figured that maybe we'd have like a 10% Chinese. Yeah. I thought that we'd go back maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 generations, like how you were.
Yeah.
but to have it be only like 2 generations, that's kind of like, gosh, I'd like to know a little bit more. Maybe that's why I'm really dope at kung fu or something. I don't know.
Here we go. We're gonna go to South Asia.
Maybe there's a reason why I have Chinese letters on my arm.
Oh yeah, when I first started dating him, I was like, you're gonna cover that, right?
So like, people can't even talk smack no more. I'm like, yeah, I'm Chinese. Don't even worry about
30%. No one can laugh.
So I'm pressing more people to try this out, to kind of find out who you are. Yeah. I mean, it's just really interesting to know this, to know that you have some of this part of you somewhere inside of you that takes you back. You know, I mean, European, I don't care, somewhere down the line, some dude crazy. Dipped it in and got that DNA in there.
Yeah,
it was slowly worked out, but
I mean, it's such a small percentage, but to have that small percentage, like I said, like the whole South Asian thing, like I said, Southeast Asian is like that was like a guaranteed. I already knew that, but to have any little bit of anything else, like to have.
And I was gonna say I didn't have any. So broadly.
Oh yeah, that's what there it goes right there.
Yeah, so. In East Asian, so they have categories: Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Yakut, Mongolian, broadly East Asian. And what's crazy, I did actually think that we had some Mongolian in us. I thought so, but I have 0% Mongolian in me. Because I remember one time we was talking with my family and we had figured Taiwan people had to have some type of Mongolian in us, but we don't. And because you figure the Mongols, they did rule quite deep, and you know, Genghis Khan, that guy fathered a lot of people, so you figure that his bloodline, his genes would pass down to a lot of Asians. And I thought that's why Titan people are super angry all the time, having that Mongolian blood, but that's not true. At least it isn't for me. So I mean, it kind of breaks down. They have different, categories, like, South Asia. I mean, it breaks it down a little bit more.
Yeah, because if you go back to my European one, it tells you what part of Europe.
Yeah.
I thought it was. Go back to my.
Does it tell you?
It did. I was like, oh, French. We have family there, but it's not. It's not even.
Well, no, I mean.
I know they.
Right.
Okay, so if you go, Southern Europe.
So you're Southern Europe. So yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Southern Europe, it'd be something to do with, Italians, Balkans. I mean, kind of more that darker skin European.
That's so
crazy. Because you're closer to the equator type thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty cool thing to find out this information. And what's nice too is that, again, you can go to the DNA and relatives and you'll be able to put yourself out there a little bit, and it kind of breaks it down. So the more people that come onto this, it's going to start matching you, with closer. Like Bopa has 6 third and fourth cousins out there on here, and she has fifth to distant cousins, 116 of them.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Right? So, I mean, if she wanted to, she could reach out, but I mean, I don't think it would be a smart thing to do. So, I mean, unless it was like half brother and you're like, what? Yeah. I got a half brother out there? But, that's crazy. This stuff will find that for you.
You've seen people like
it's kind of like, it's kind of scary.
Well, I've seen
nerve-wracking a little bit.
I've seen some on TV where, separated at birth with the twins,
right.
And they've been adopted to different families, and then they find each other, which is really cool.
Like mine, I have 186 DNA relatives out there. One is considered close family to second cousin. And I have 14 third and fourth cousins and 171 fifth to distant cousins. So
just in this database.
Just in this database. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, and I tried looking up the person that was like considered the close, because she had 11 matching markers as me. So out of the
23
chromosomes, she had 11 matching genetic
crazy.
markers as me.
But we didn't know who she was.
I don't know who she was, but and so yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed opening this up and finding out a little bit more about me. I mean, it's gonna allow me to dig a little bit more, and help each other kind of understand.
Yeah, I would want my brother to do this.
Yeah, I want my family to do it too.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you never know.
Yeah, it'd just be interesting to see what we're all made of.
You never know.
But because on mine, remember my paternal haplogroup?
Yeah, you're not gonna get that because you're a female.
Right.
Yeah,
so I need my brother to do that one so that I can kind of see it both.
Kind of see where it comes from. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's where we're at. I mean I hope you guys enjoyed us sharing our information with you. So now you know what we are genetically made up of.
Yes.
And you know a lot about us. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please comment below.
Oh yeah. And let us know if you're surprised at what we are made of.
Right.
I was. Like I said, even
absolutely.
That small percentage.
I mean, again, I did not think I had any that type of Chinese in me. I just figured I'm tied up. So, but hey, here we are.
Oh my gosh. Damn.
Thank you for tuning in. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.